Hey guys, we're the PodCracks, and today we are joined with Jeremiah Taylor and Zaire Johnson. Introduce you guys.
Hello, I'm Zaire.
And your usuals are here. I'm Rich Augustine.
I'm Christian.
And I'm Jaron Cam. So we're going to just get into it. Our first topic is esports a sport? Now, there's been a lot of articles and debates about whether or not it is a sport. A lot of people are saying that sports are more of a physical rather than a mental, like gaming is. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
My first point is chess is a sport. Chess is not physical at all. It's all mental.
Well, does esports count? Because esports, is chess considered an esport though?
Okay, but like...
Yeah, but you're sitting down in chess, moving pieces. I mean, it's not much different than moving your arm.
But chess isn't very physical, so saying just sports in general, anything that's considered a sport has to be physical.
So
that doesn't apply to chess.
So you guys make good points. So one of the articles we found, it comes from...
You reference an article by... just talking about it. Not like
That's what I was about to do. So you guys make great points, and I was gonna bring into this article that has said something about chess, and it was talking about how a lot of sports are considered, I guess, more of a physical stance, but we also said chess, right? So this article talks about a lot of that. It talks about how gaming is kind of like a chess game because you have mentality, and so what do you guys think about that?
I feel like electronic sports, aka video games, are considered a sport.
Sport.
Okay. I mean, it would have to be a sport because it's like it puts a mental strain on your body just as much as chess would, and chess is a generalized game where video games have like a specific goal that you have to do. You know, like you could win by taking the pieces in chess, whereas video games like Fortnite, which is like the biggest one, like all you have to do is stay alive.
So what it also talks about in this article that is in Wikipedia, there's a list of world champions in mind sports. Mind sports is what they consider in, I guess, general, or people consider a sport like shogi, chess, poker,
Japanese.
and then there comes in like games like Pokemon and esports, CS:GO, League, all that. So how is that a sport? How is mind sports the same as regular sports?
Why are you asking?
So
you should explain first, Trevor. You explain.
Like,
okay.
I got this article. I got this article where it the Oxford Dictionary actually defines what is it? Its definition is an activity involving physical exertion and skills in which an individual or team competes against each other or others for entertainment. So yeah.
What's your point?
So basically it's you gotta like show your skill. It's more like just skill based, and when you're playing video games you need skill in order to be good, right?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
What if you're average at the game, but like you're playing at a high school level,
A high school level, then that's just...
Okay, so my opinion on it though is like, so you guys make good points, but what do you consider a sport? Now, with esports being a sport, does that mean also the players are athletes? Because a lot of athletes go through rigorous training with their bodies, reaction time, and all that. Now, I'm not saying
games also.
No, I'm not saying
time.
Yeah. So I'm not saying gamers don't have reaction time because it does take skill like that. But do they go through physical training as much as like athletes like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant?
I would say they actually would go more. They would actually train a lot more than these other like NBA or like NFL players because of how easy it is to like just wake up in the morning
and play video games.
just start.
Yeah.
You just start in the morning. You can go on until like the evening time, all training.
So you're saying like people like Ninja wake up in the morning, they stream. That's considered like
that's like practicing.
That's practicing right there.
So what about like
I mean, like, you know how like athletes, they have to eat, drink, sleep, breathe their sport, right? And that's what you have to do that for video games too. Like if you stay up late, or if you just don't take care of your body, you're still gonna be bad at the sport or bad at the video game, right? Like
Yeah.
you have to be in the right physical and mental state to do that.
Like
job.
for a lot of people, this is their like lifestyle.
Yeah.
They literally, that's engraved into like their daily routine is practicing with their team, practicing against like, like bots maybe
And
in like a video game.
or hand-eye coordination, where like
Right.
you have to be able to know where to go or what your hands have to do to,
In
do
order to
a
like
certain
accomplish
thing.
a
Yeah.
thing.
And like, the whole reaction time thing is completely a hand-eye coordination thing, so knowing when to do things at the right time should be a sport,
Right? Learning the game mechanics, that takes a lot of time and building into your muscle memory so you can continuously do it. And doing that at a pro level and not at like a, just like, casually playing.
Yeah.
It's really challenging.
Okay, so something like League of Legends, right?
Right.
League of Legends is a very competitive esports
competitive
game, right?
Yeah.
So for me personally, this I've seen a lot of League of Legends players, and it is true they have a lot of reaction time. They have to have both team skills, like a regular football team has to be like with their bonding and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
So now let's talk about like.
Well, I mean, okay, so I have a point. So, I was reading this article, right, and it showed like the statistics of esports players, right?
Okay.
And if you compare that to like regular, like national sports players, like in the NBA or NFL or anything Olympic, or actually Olympics. No, not the Olympics, but like, those guys get paid a lot. And if you look at how much esports players get out of one match or even winning, they get paid way more, or even just the same amount just from one match.
So, but we're talking about.
So wouldn't that account for esports to be a sport?
Like, actually, I'm pretty sure I read an article where it states that esports is actually more popular than, like, say, the NFL base or the NBA base. So
Yeah, because what I'm read before is talking about prize pools in tournament of video games is about under 24.7 million total, and with esports, tournaments can range from 50 to 1,000 to like millions now,
Right.
and
Which is
it's just like
dumb.
as yes,
If I'm
it's,
gonna be honest, it's kind of dumb.
yeah.
I like it.
So it is proven to be
16-year-olds just
more like
playing
competitive
there.
with football and
It's a podcast.
But then again, we have to think about our generation now. Like, our generation now is like usually kids our age. Well, some of us do like football and sports, but we're more inclined to look at video games, just our generation total. And stuff like Twitch and stuff actually like supply stuff for the money that can be used to give to streamers and stuff like that. So I feel
Yeah.
like it's up to our generation
So-
on how much.
What about other games that don't require that much? Let's say like Hearthstone. You guys know Hearthstone.
Hearthstone?
Hearthstone.
Not really.
Okay. Let's
I don't play that.
League of Legends. Let's see.
No, League of Legends we were talking about. Let's get into a game that's like a little bit more lower.
Smite.
Smite.
I know a lot about
Smite.
Smite.
I don't play Smite.
Well,
But just
Think-
talk about it.
Tetris.
So Smite's kind of like a league, but in the third person, a little bit more
It's
easier to
just
learn.
kind of just a different concept.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
different
Basically the
concept.
exact same.
yeah, except with like gods.
So how about Pac-Man? Pac-Man. We all know Pac-Man. A lot of
Okay.
people have been
Yeah.
competitive with Pac-Man with high scores and all that.
That's true.
But-
What
Because you have
Lately?
to learn tactic and stuff.
Would-
You have to learn how like everything's
Okay.
done.
All
But
right.
if you compare how people earn much, like in tournaments like Pac-Man, which less people watch, and stuff like League of Legends.
But back then,
Back then,
a lot of
was
Pac-Man was the
everything.
game that was
Pac-Man,
basically
Tetris,
their
Street
so
Fighter
much
and all
stuff.
that too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Street Fighter is different. Pac-Man is an easy game everyone learns.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about. A lot of generations. That used to be their esports.
Yeah,
back
that-
then.
yeah.
It's
So
just
why-
arcades, people facing random people they just met.
That's what I'm saying. So why is that not? Now a lot of people that have said, "Oh, sports, esports is not a sport." They have been in that generation. So why is that different than regular sport games now?
Why
Why
that
is-
different than regular games now?
Yeah, no. Why is that? Why was that considered a competition or competitive? That's a sport. That's all of that. And today now, like more competitive games like
okay. I
CS:GO,
see.
Call of Duty, all that. All those teams like FaZe and all that. Is now not considered a sport.
That is a good point.
Was Pac-Man ever really considered a sport though?
A lot of
it was.
it was.
There's like prize pools for Pac-Man and
Gotcha.
It was
all
considered
that.
as a tournament, but not a sport
at the time.
at the
And then
time.
they start,
So it's the same thing here,
Well,
but
they still have tournament type things for things other than Pac-Man and what you're talking
I
about.
think the fact that it makes like you use a team makes it more of a sport. You know.
so you wouldn't consider Pac-Man tournaments as sports.
you still need
In a way.
some reaction time
Yeah.
in Pac-Man.
Kind of.
They
And,
had
like,
prize
you gotta
pools like
think-
a regular like NFL, how they
Right.
get paid. Well, it's the same thing with.
I don't know. Well, like, like the main thing about Pac-Man is that you have to do that corner turn where you get hit, but you don't get hit at the same time. Like you have to time it correctly.
Yeah,
You
anything
know?
competitive,
Yeah.
you
The
have to have a
whole
lot of skill in.
Yeah.
For it to
You got to be
tournament
like
level.
proficient
Yeah.
at it.
Okay,
So you need a lot
so
of
Just like
training.
regular sports would be.
okay,
It's regular
so
sports, you do need a
we
lot
can
of
all
training
agree
for
that Pac-Man is like, what is it a sport or is it more
Well,
just
if
competitive?
I would
Pac-Man
say
is a
it's
sport,
a
all
sport.
games are a sport because
So then something like games based on sport like 2K. A lot of 2K, 18, 2K, 19, 2K20, they have a lot of sports stuff.
but they
That
don't have like esports tournaments for NBA, right?
no, they do. It's
wow.
they have 2K presents a lot of competitive stuff against teams.
Gotcha.
Even NBA corporations have made 2K sport teams. So
That's crazy.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if
That's
you
really
think about
cool,
it-
though.
If you think about it, you could like
I really like that.
you could
But so-
match the gameplay of real life to the actual gameplay in.
So would that still be considered a sport because you're playing a sport but don't have the physical training? You're playing players that like LeBron James, or you're playing a character you made from like My Player stuff that knows the moves, but you only know, okay, I gotta press this button to shoot, or I'm passing the ball to this guy.
Yeah, I would still say it's a sport.
So playing a sport like
Well, I mean,
On a
I
video
wouldn't
game.
say it would be like a
You shouldn't
physical
get paid
sport,
for it.
you know?
Like-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if
That's
you
kinda dumb.
play it on like a super professional level,
so then what's the difference with playing CS:GO?
what do you mean?
Because you only you just press two buttons, you just have a strategy. That's the same thing with NBA. 2K.
Oh, no,
a lot
you
of
gotta
it.
have
NBA
you gotta
is,
have like
but
aim.
NBA is based off of real stats. CS:GO, you literally have to do all that stuff yourself.
Like I play like a lot of CS:GO.
But it's
CS:GO
all
is
just
kind
thumb
of my
movements
life
in the
right
end,
now.
or depending on what you play.
You
It's
gotta
all
work
just
on
finger
your yeah, a lot of movements.
in your hands.
Your hands, team strategy. You gotta think of these like 3-dimensional aspects of the game, even though it looks 2D.
Because what I'm hearing from all
On
you
the
guys
TV
is there are certain sport or games that can be considered a sport,
But not in the physical sense, in the mentality sense.
I mean, Tetris was a sport. Like you
that's
play against.
that's all
people.
mentality.
because
Yeah.
the topic we're talking about is if esports in general. So that means every game that is competitive is a sport. So that means that like I said, 2K playing 2K as a competitive aspect is not a sport, or is not considered a
Yeah,
sport.
like I would have said Minecraft is a sport. You know,
I
I mean,
don't think
Minecraft is like a
no.
leisurely game unless
Yeah.
you're
I think
playing
I
in a
think we're
certain
more
mode.
talking about like the actual like
competitive
team
aspect.
versus team kind
Yeah.
of thing, and
Oh,
not just
'cause I
like
mean, like,
yeah.
there were,
like a
like-
free roam
Mhm.
kind of thing. Then
Yeah.
that's not a sport. That's
So-
a different topic.
I would.
That's
I
something else.
don't know. You could play Minecraft as a
It's a
sport
sandbox.
in a way.
But there's also like
You could.
But there's also
It's like-
Pokemon.
But
There's
that's only because
Pokemon.
it's a-
Now Pokemon is a single player game. You collect Pokemon just so.
But you could verse people.
Yeah, but you're versing someone else. Like in Minecraft, you don't.
It wouldn't be considered
It's
a
a
sport if
sandbox.
you're just beating
But
the game.
we also have to consider speedruns. Would you consider speedrun sports?
Speedruns?
Yeah,
Like who can defeat the dragon the fastest on survival? Like there's challenges and stuff
I mean,
like that
there-
that people work towards.
But I mean, those are
That
challenges.
one-
Those aren't. It's
But
not
people still get paid
competitive.
for that, you know?
Oh, really?
Challenges.
Yeah.
so
a
then
lot
that's the
of
same thing with
streaming services.
Pokemon. You're just grabbing different monsters, training them, and then fighting other people. That's still considered an esport. That's
Yeah.
a mind. It's a mind esport game or
Well, I mean, I
esport.
wouldn't consider
Mind sport.
esports being a leisure game. You know, like Pokemon is a fucking.
Which is how,
You didn't hear that?
it's how you see leisure games. Like
Yeah.
some people can see Minecraft as like, okay, but how fast can I defeat something? Or like, but
Yeah.
no, some people look at it as a leisurely, but then again, it could also be considered as competitive. Any game could be competitive.
But other people say like
it's what you make of it, kind of thing.
other people say dodgeball or lacrosse or
Yeah, those are
even
sports.
even
Those
tennis.
are
Those are
sports.
straight
Those are sports.
sports.
Yes,
Yeah.
you understand that. But dodgeball is like a common game now in a lot of high
A
schools.
lot of people play it.
nobody
And now-
plays it anymore.
No.
Because, bands, and
It's
kids
bad,
crying.
yeah.
But what I'm trying to make is that though now it's like it was in PE. Oh, it's a sport. So if I would say if I play video games.
Well, I mean,
What?
PE is a physical education
Shit,
class.
Yeah.
So are we talking? So what I'm trying to make the point is if there was like there's a class for gaming or whatever,
A
right?
gaming class?
Yeah.
I would take that.
Would
Not
it-
gonna lie, I would love that.
So would give it more of sports being a sport.
It would probably encourage a lot of like younger generation people to start like seeing games as an actual sport.
Yeah.
And then
very-
even now that like we didn't have games that are all like this way back in the past.
Way back when.
when
Yeah.
our parents were young, they didn't have like realistic games.
Yeah.
So like
They saw
Like
saw
Candyland?
like Pong.
Yeah, they like it's literally like it was like the first Tetris games. It was like something like not Tetris,
Not
tennis.
Tetris.
It was
What?
just two
Oh, yeah,
sticks
yeah,
and like a
yeah.
pixel
Yeah.
a pixel square, and you just hit it back and forth.
There's literally like 12 pixels on the screen.
So we can all agree that esports should be considered a sport.
Yes.
Yes.
Any shape or form, any game should be even like the like.
If you
the
have
biggest
if you have to
competitive
verse
aspect.
someone, then it
So-
becomes a sport.
So like people that have like high scores, like Pac-Man, you have to beat the high score. That's
Yeah.
not a sport.
Yeah.
It's just competitive. But
That could be,
Anything
Yeah,
competitive.
could be.
so as long
That
as
is a
there's a
sport.
competitive aspect to it, it's a sport.
yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Well, no. Because you could be
What?
top ranked. but-
Yeah, I was gonna say you could
Well, you're still competing for the top.
Yeah,
rank, is
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Compete for
like
that.
you could if you're saying that means like painting the wall the fastest is a sport.
What?
Could be. I mean,
Because you're
Painting
saying
the wall
you're
the
saying
fastest is a sport.
anything but competitive aspect can be a sport. Debating can be a sport. That can mean like
Well, there's
the
still
whole
that,
house
there's
in the
that
middle of time.
physical, you know, like physical, mental
Because
attitude.
then I think that's just taking it a little too literal.
But that's what you guys are saying. Is if there's a competitive
Passing the
aspect.
room faster than you. I'm better at sports than you. That's
Putting words in it.
that's a little taking it too
Alright, you wanna
serious.
move on?
well, that's good because anything can be competitive.
Yeah.
But can everything be a sport? Ooh, okay.
That's
Asking
I
real
think
questions.
we can we'll move on for that. We'll keep that in the mind to next into like another topic. Maybe the next topic we'll talk about it, but let's move on to the next one.
Alright.
Alright, we're back with spaghetti because
We're hungry.
I got a salad.
yeah, it's self-explanatory, and it's my mom's spaghetti. Anyways, let's get on to it. So,
Jared's mom's
Mom's
spaghetti.
spaghetti. Mom's spaghetti.
anyways, so we were on is esports a sport, right? So we're gonna move on. Alright, we're gonna move on to the next topic, and it kind of relates because esports does take a lot of technology. Video games is basically technology. We're gonna talk about
Technology.
we're just gonna talk about technology and the use of it. Is it making us lazy now? Then back into before, like when they had just cars, like just cars. Computer wasn't a thing. All that. So let's start with Rich. What do you got for that topic?
What do you mean?
What do you think?
So just-
what do you think
what
about?
do you-
like,
what's your
would
opinion?
you say
in my
technology?
opinion, technology makes life easier, yes, but it doesn't. I wouldn't say it makes you lazy in a sense. I feel like
Makes
finding
it a little
ways.
bit more convenient.
Yeah,
like you
it
say.
makes it convenient, but not lazy.
So something like,
but you still have to do it. You know what I mean?
so what about the uses of phones? Now originally the phone was like what? It was just
literally just the call. People
Yeah.
have landlines.
now we have iPhones that I'm like right now I'm recording this on an iPhone, right?
I bet you don't even use your house phone.
Yeah, I have a house phone that only takes messages. I don't do anything else with it.
It's literally just messages of me being absent. That's the only thing it has use for.
That's what I'm saying.
But
So-
I mean, in the sense that you're lazy, is that like, you're trying not to do something, or so like I think you can still be productive with technology.
So okay,
Christian,
but
go
then
ahead. State your. What is it?
I'd say it doesn't make people lazy. Yeah, it improves. What is it like? Workflow. Everything just feels like it gets done faster. So, what you guys got?
I feel like in some situations, yes, it does. And like a lot of things, we tend to rely too much on technology.
I believe that too, because if you think about it, I'm gonna use the iPhone again, right? The iPhone is just, I feel like it's with the extra stuff like apps, games, Snapchat, Instagram, all that stuff.
Right.
That is extra. We don't need that, but it makes us unproductive. Like a lot of times, and I will admit, and I believe all you can admit, you guys are on like Instagram and Snapchat instead of doing a project.
Yeah.
Then you get lazy, you get unproductive.
Like even on the computer, I would go on YouTube instead of like actually
That's my point. That's my
or
point.
something.
So that's my point.
Cough.
So that's my point. So I think personally, technology hasn't made us lazy. And talking about school wise, you can literally look up anything, an article or a book on research, instead of back then it was just
You gotta actually go to the library.
right?
Yeah, and actually find the book if they have it in stock. Then you gotta wait. Like if they don't have it in stock, then you gotta wait, and it's just a pain.
Y'all talk about it like it's like 20,000 years ago.
I mean, it's still relevant. You can still do it. People still do it. I mean,
but
I kind of still do it.
I feel like
when I get my manga and stuff.
bookstore. But like, I mean, yeah, but like bookstores are irrelevant in the sense that unless you have a preference,
There's only
for
one Barney's
the
in
pages.
But here's the thing: bookstores are always there.
Yeah.
And when
In a
you don't
way.
have any Wi-Fi or kind of like you can't access your phone in a situation,
Yeah.
then how are you gonna get the information you need?
But I mean,
So they do have a purpose, though.
yeah, of course they have a purpose. But like, it's not okay. You can't really say, "Oh, I'm starting on an island. I want to read something," right?
I gotta pull up this manual on
can't-
how to survive.
Yeah, like you would rather have newer technology to save your life, right?
Yeah, but will it reach? Will your phone reach a stranded island?
I mean, no, like
Maybe.
I don't know.
Probably
Like,
depends where you
I'm
are.
talking about like things like like portable rafts.
Inflatable rafts that you can just throw down and be like,
Yeah.
"Yep, all right, I'm surviving."
Okay,
So,
yeah,
like,
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
So stuff like let me think. Stuff like useless stuff. Right, useless stuff. I think with technology is like
There's literally almost no use for any
Yeah.
envelopes.
huh?
You don't write letters. You write a letter?
Yes.
When? When was the last time you wrote a
Like
letter?
birthday letters.
I
How
wrote.
many-
I
how
haven't
many
wrote a college
times-
a letter.
How many times have you used your phone?
But that wasn't a letter. That was
Wait,
an email.
yeah. you
No,
gotta
I didn't
email.
write it in an email. I had to write a piece of paper.
So you wrote a
You
piece of
actually
paper
wrote it.
and then you
Well,
got
I
an
had to.
envelope.
Wow.
Yes.
How many times do
paid
you
for
actually
that?
do that?
Once, twice. Once,
Out of
twice.
the
My
entire year.
entire year, yeah. Once, twice.
Exactly. How many times?
So
do you
you're
send
saying,
text?
but okay. So we can
You
make
send
this.
your mom a quick text, just saying I'm coming home now.
Yeah.
You gotta write a letter to your mom, send a pigeon.
That's what.
Okay, okay, but like, think about like.
It's not that bad.
I know.
Like being lazy is like not doing homework when you are watching YouTube or I don't know.
It's like, oh,
not going out in the
I have this
yard,
to do. I'll do
you
it
know.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already time. Nah, I'll do it a little bit later.
Okay,
The next
okay,
day,
but
kind of thing.
So
But-
make it more of a I was doing this instead of that type of situation, you know?
so, but then like back then I'm gonna bring out my dad's time. He didn't have any of this stuff.
Dad's.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna release his age, but I mean, he's in he's not in the generation. Anyways, in that generation back then, they didn't have a lot. It was like pagers.
Yeah.
Pagers were just what? Just
You don't know what a pager does, do you?
you enter one phone number to one pager, one person. It was like one of the biggest like things. Now everyone has an iPhone, which does more than that.
Or a Samsung.
Or yeah, like a smartphone.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Samsung tells you when you get in a call. No, pager tells you when you get in a call, and then you actually call them with
Yeah.
your house phone. That's what a pager is.
Okay,
So-
but like
Yeah.
things like calculators, that's
right?
Basically, almost.
It's technology that's
irrelevant.
helpful, but it's not lazy.
So you're saying technology is more useful rather than being, but as a person, isn't it still kind of lazy in a sense? Because people back then used to just do calculations on the computer or not
on,
computer, sorry,
like a paper, too.
on paper.
Or
They,
on chalkboard.
now people can be like, all right,
Search
oh,
up the
I need
answer.
to know 2 plus 2. Oh, I don't know that off my head.
Yeah.
Calculator.
Or just like literally search up the answer.
Is it bad to
It's like
say I
instead
did
of
that?
actually going through like books and stuff to find, to find your
Every ti-
answer,
every
you
time
can
I've taken
search
a
up the
test.
web.
And video games. Video games are another thing. And I'm going back to it because of esports. But a lot of technology stuff, people get unproductive when
just
they
play
get
games
first-
all day.
Yes.
Yeah,
Instead of,
unless
you know,
you choose to.
Like, Someone just totally irrelevant though, but someone could be playing a game while making a podcast. You know.
I mean, damn, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be so crazy. Like
And
they're
another
playing,
dude could
they're
just
playing-
be playing like Clash Royale. Like,
and another one could just
Talking about-
right now
Like,
just
yeah,
be like on their Xbox
like-
playing Halo 5. But like that's what I'm saying.
don't.
But
That's
we're
unproductive.
But no, like think about it, we're productive as we make those choices. You know, I feel like it doesn't really make you lazy. It's just the choices that you make with yourself. You know, like just because you have the option to do something
That was
Isn't
a firm
the-
slap.
isn't the technology making you lazy. It's just you being lazy.
Okay, so then you can make the same argument.
Well, I mean, like, so I was reading this guy's article where it's basically he was saying the same thing. Like, he chooses to use technology, but it's not in a non-productive
Productive way.
Yeah.
So it's what you make of technology, basically. Just like it's what you make of gaming.
What are you doing?
Alright. Anyways, you make a good point. There's another article that has some list. I was reading it and it was talking about how a lot of entertainment stuff like video games and movies, Netflix and in the recent Disney Plus has been putting entertainment on technology.
Yeah.
Back then, movies and all that where you had to go to a theater or you want to see a play.
Like with friends and stuff. So it's kind of
Now
makes it fun.
it's more accessible. You have to just wait maybe a month for a new movie to come out, John Wick 2 or
And
something
you
like
just
that.
download it on
Unless you
your phone.
consider it
We were
to be
soldiers.
lazy to just go to the movies.
Watch it in physics.
Stop promoting your damn. Oh, you're right.
What? All you were doing is watching the trailer.
Anyways,
Exactly.
back on it.
$13.
So, I'm saying, like, in the sense of entertainment being more at home, doesn't that make us really more lazy to get outside? Because
Yeah.
now I know it's not a lot of kids go play outside. They don't go skateboarding. They don't go play basketball.
Not
They don't.
necessarily. I mean, like those kids who get raised that way are the ones who like. I mean, I know that I wasn't raised to stay inside and play video games.
I mean, I always like
unless it was the weekend.
going
You know what I
outside.
mean?
Oh yeah,
I
that
always
only
like going
started
outside.
like when I hit middle school.
Yeah. Like only when, even now, like I barely play
Cause I
Xbox
moved.
in the middle of the night because of, just because I want to do it.
Yeah.
I moved, so I was like farther away from old friends, and playing video games was like the only time I could like actually hang out with them.
But then, in a sense, I'm talking about like
quote unquote hang out.
I'm talking about like Disney Plus, and like all those apps, right? Now, you used to have to go to the store, buy the movie, come back to your house. Now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Disney Plus, I can watch the Avengers.
What was that place that closed down?
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. I used to go there all the time. That was
I actually
amazing.
never went to Blockbuster.
That's what I'm saying.
You probably on
I never went.
video games, Mr. Christian Lau.
I'm on video game.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
games.
Back on it though. There, like legit, there could be times when you're watching a show club with signal and certificates.
Getty right at the microphone, dude.
Anyways, you could be
Okay.
watching New Girl on
New girl.
your phone at the moment doing a podcast, and that's making you unproductive.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Zaire Johnson. Anyways,
Who that? Who that?
that's what I'm saying though. Isn't it? isn't it making us less productive, less like making us lazy? Like, oh, now I can just watch a movie on my bed instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna have to head to the store. I might as well go pick up something. That making us more effective to go buy groceries and
So
stuff.
more productive, like time and use of your time.
That's what. Yeah. Because a lot of times that just makes us end up, entertainment means I'm gonna order food now from a nap, and go like Uber Eats, making us less productive, making us fat. Instead of going out, hey, I'm gonna go pick up pizza, or I'm gonna go pick up Chinese food from a place. It's like easily, Uber Eats, click on the app, pay for it, and done. Yeah. So, what does that mean? Is it still? Are you still thinking it's more effective? Or are you thinking, okay?
I think it depends on what you do with it. Like, if you're like, say, I'm gonna eat at this time, you better order your food now. I think that's more convenient rather than like, hey, I have an essay to do, and then you do something else.
If you think about it on like a bigger scale though, like imagine like someone cured cancer but we wouldn't know about it,
Oh, that.
Or
that
like we
too.
could have put all our brain
Hey,
power
send me a text. I'll know.
into
Well, okay, it's up there though. It's up there. He brought up a good point. Text. Now, technology has also made us a little bit less connected with a lot of people, right?
Bro, we literally have a group
Okay.
chat where we text 20%.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, right? A lot of college students go out of their hometown or home state to go out to like California or whatever, go college. They don't check in a lot. A lot of people that I know.
Because they just
No,
selfish.
okay. Now let me check in. What I mean by check in with them is they text and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't ever come back. They come back when they're done graduation, or they wait until they see them graduate or Christmas time.
Okay.
Right. So, doesn't that make us a little bit less
Antisocial.
antisocial and making us a little bit more doesn't want to see your family members that much? Doesn't it make us like a little bit
But I feel like that's just how some people are.
Yeah.
You're talking about antisocial.
It probably comes down to
Yeah.
personality and.
Because
what
me
the person
personally,
Yeah, I wouldn't blame
I would
someone.
love to
like
come
if you're
back
like super
and
tired,
see
and
my
stuff
two
like that,
little
that
nieces
day,
grow up.
like,
I'm just not gonna ignore them. But other people just
You're like,
Because
they
even
don't want to be with their families.
because
so
even a lot of people don't even know what's happening around them. They check social media for it.
yeah.
So
yeah.
Twitter's always there. Instagram's over there. Everyone's posting about that.
so is it more effective to be on Instagram and stuff rather than checking them in real life? You think there's a more emotional state? Is it making us just like more of a entertainment and just
But then
sit on the
Actually,
couch?
I think
But I'm not gonna fly all the
I
way back
wouldn't-
to Hawaii just to figure out my mom
I mean
didn't
it
make
would
spaghetti
make
that
them
night.
No, I'm saying like
more
I'm saying
closer, right?
I'm saying more on the lines of like
Because it's like
you
updates
living
on
in
everything.
you living in town, right?
Right.
And your mom says hey, or your mom
So you're
goes
saying
like
that not going out to see people is lazy.
I consider it a little bit lazy. I consider it
Yeah.
selfish.
I would actually. Yeah, it's selfish.
Would you?
it's a little bit lazy.
Because a lot of people now don't, and
Well, I mean,
I'm not gonna say my family,
in a
but
sense,
But like some.
some families.
yeah, in
do
a
that.
sense, it is a little lazy. But wouldn't you just, if you had the time to call them, in a way,
Like actually make the time and effort
yeah,
to try,
then it wouldn't be.
then I wouldn't
lazy.
consider that lazy.
Yeah. I
So
don't know. There's like it's like a preference or not preference. What is it they called it? Like there's boundaries in that sense where lazy people are the ones not staying in, or like they're the ones who
They don't want to do anything.
yeah.
So another thing that this article was talking about that I was reading was online shopping. Now it's the Christmas season.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Online
we
shopping.
just
I do that.
and we just
I do a
got
lot of
cyber. We got
Cyber
cyber
Monday.
somebody
just came.
last
Black
Monday
Friday
and
also.
then, yeah
All blitz.
and
Something Tuesday.
and what interested me this was because this year was the second most highest rating I think
Yeah, that was really cool.
highest rating
Not gonna lie.
shopping spree I guess from all
Online.
US online and online
with smartphones.
smartphone. It was a lot on smartphone. A lot of people ordered their stuff on smartphone rather than going to the store. That
Yeah.
same thing. Like last year in 2018 on Cyber Monday, it was the same thing.
And then even some stores literally have you can buy it online, then pick it up in store, so you didn't have to wait
Yeah.
in lines.
Yeah.
Bloomingdale's had that.
So it was
Apple
it
does
was
that. Everybody
They
does. A lot of people do that.
Oh, wow.
Apple, they have the Apple Store on your phone.
Yeah.
Literally, you can just pay for it on your phone, and they'll have it ready once you get there.
that's what I'm saying.
wow.
So a lot of times, and I'm gonna be guilty of this because I just bought NBA 2K20 on the same way at GameStop,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
So you lazy.
I'm not saying-
Lazy.
okay,
What
I'll
you
take
saying
I'll
is
take that. I'll
lazy.
You
take
didn't
that.
want to wait in a line.
I'll take that. I'll
Get
take
it?
that.
lines.
I'll take that.
I'll wait in lines. My legs hurt.
Oh really? Really?
But you.
That's not the point.
Some
here.
people might want to just
Your
experience
thumb
that,
sore,
you know.
I
Some
not
people
that
might want to
important. It's
experience
not that
waiting in
important.
like a super long line and being disappointed because they're all sold out.
It is that deep.
Right?
It's not. But what I'm saying is, a lot back then when Cyber Monday and stuff wasn't like a huge thing. It was only Black Friday. A lot of people went out, stood in lines. A lot of people say Black Friday is an experience thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, before
Waking up
or,
super
like,
early just to go shopping.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it was like they show it as, or you want to stay at the store a couple days early. You know, like they camp out.
And
have
now
dedication
it's
to
just
this.
on your phone.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I want to reserve that.
Yeah.
Bam.
Or like they can just buy off of the
Because
stock.
they know they
you
can
know?
get it
Yeah.
because it's going to be there.
So economy wise, it's very good. I say it's very good for economy wise. A lot of like business
Yeah.
get money, but in terms of being a human person, and just not sitting in line, I think personally that makes it a little bit lazy because you're not the person like back then where they sacrificed a lot of things, had the experience of going in, traveled and all that.
Actually, wouldn't it be better to actually go into the store? Because everyone's on their phone buying things, so there's no
That's
line.
how it was. That's how it was for Bruno Mars tickets. Like
Really?
So the day before I went, I stood in line for Bruno Mars ticket we went because they on the news they were saying, oh, since everybody was trying to buy it online, nobody was at the stadium, standing in line.
Yeah.
So
dude.
literally people could go round and round in the line to get tickets, which was the day before, right? So but then once everybody heard that news, everybody went to go stand in line, to sleep over and stand in line, you know? So
Oh
I don't,
my
in a way,
gosh.
I think it's just preference.
It's
you know?
it's more on the situation,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So-
even for example, buying tickets is it's a whole ordeal for you to go someplace and
Pretty
get
sure
it.
it would be harder to get online
Yeah.
too.
So you're saying technology, it's not making us lazy. It's more on the lines of where we're talking about.
Yeah.
Entertainment wise, it's kind of lazy, but in the terms of
It's more of the way
effectiveness,
people use it. Make them
So-
lazy.
Oh, this is a plug for our sponsors at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is
but yeah. So it's termed on the situation, right?
yeah.
All right. So I think since we're on that situation, I'm talking about one product that's been a lot of technology, electric cars,
Yeah.
Teslas, the Tesla truck that just came out,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the Cybertruck.
or
Yeah,
Cybertruck,
Thanks, Elon
whatever
Musk.
that is, right?
Yeah.
So-
Halo Warthog.
It does.
All right. So since we're on the topic of technology being lazy, I want to bring up.
We're not.
We were.
Oh, okay.
We were. We're talking now about sorry, hold on.
Fossil fuels.
Yeah, fossil fuels, basically electric cars. A lot of electric car stuff. Now it's been a effective thing in the environment friendly area, I think
Cybertruck
personally.
came out too.
Yeah, the new Cybertruck came out. I wanted to talk
Thanks,
about
Elon
that.
Musk.
And a lot of electric cars have been, or I guess technology cars have been very eco friendly to me personally. But a lot of people have disagreed with that. A lot of people have disagreed with that. So I want to get you guys' take on it.
Wait, who's disagreed?
A few people
Saying, what is the disagreement that they aren't?
they think a
Eco-friendly?
lot of people think personally that they're not environment friendly because they take up though it's electric, like all that stuff. It's something about it's not as good for our environment. Because a lot of people believe that it's not a
Oh, is it
effective-
because so you burn fossil fuels to make electricity, and the electricity is just gonna go into your car?
Yeah,
So,
some they make that statement and they talk about how gas is more efficient though it doesn't help too much of the environment, it's still.
Yeah.
And they say the same thing with electric cars, that you still have to use like motors and all that because of the.
I mean, you still need like a factory to build the cars in, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
gonna take
they take up a lot of stuff, like, and it
Okay,
takes
delete
more
the whole
time.
part. I'm so sorry, but Elon Musk actually like bought like a whole solar plant, and he makes Tesla out of like he's bought like over $1 billion worth of solar panels and put them on top of his factory. So all of the cars that he built is made up of robots that are run by electricity.
But we're not talking about just Elon Musk, like
Well,
Tesla.
like,
Why?
like
We're talking
hybrids are
Hybrid.
probably made by
yeah,
people
but other
who-
car companies that do make stuff like hybrid, like if,
Yeah.
like the BMW i3. Like I wasn't originally gonna get that car, but
Trash car.
it's hey. Anyways, the environment friendly stuff was great and all, but the only thing is that the car itself wasn't as efficient as gas, and it still runs on a certain amount of, I guess, fuel.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
like,
hybrid car.
Yeah,
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. I don't even remember. So, I don't know how a lot of people have said it's not environment friendly. I think personally it is. Even it uses less of gas, because gas itself is already polluting a lot.
And
of
it's expensive too.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Save money on gas.
$30 a gallon, maybe more depending on where you go.
Hey man, that's $40 that
Yeah.
you don't have anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're paying electricity for your house already, so why not just use
You're
it
gonna
to
Pay more as well
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, but like,
because to charge your car.
yeah,
I'm pretty
but
sure.
it's a
take a lot.
it's a
But it'll take longer to charge your car
Yeah.
than just fill it up with gas.
in a way, yeah. Well, like most like Teslas, I know they take like an hour.
An
less than
hour?
like
You
to
can-
charge a good amount enough to drive.
Drive yourself like
Yeah.
a couple miles.
And then like I know my dad installed the the whole charging station.
You have an
that you
electric
use at your
car?
house. Yeah.
What?
I mean, no, I don't have an electric
Oh.
car. My uncle has a Tesla that he.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Wow.
he's like, he's like one of those those contractor guys. So he does make a lot of money.
Okay. Yeah.
But he installed it right, and it's basically a thing that converts your electricity so that you're not really using a lot of it, but
But
you're using
it gives out
a
enough.
portion of, yeah, but
like,
like
to
it
charge
gives
your
you
car.
yeah, so it gives you that electricity that you need to go around the island or to work or whatever before your next charge. So I don't know if it's like that cycle is really ineffective.
So you're saying that it's kind of effective, but it's not really. You kind of making.
I think it's completely effective, honestly. Like, if we get rid of fossil fuels, and electricity is the only source that we have, or like electricity from the sun or electricity from wind turbines, stuff like that, then yeah, it would be completely efficient. But fossil fuels are still around, so that's what makes
We're
the
taking
whole
like
ordeal bad.
stuff from the ground.
Yeah.
So I want to get I guess it's kind of like opinion on it too, because though you guys don't have a huge opinion, I just want to get you guys onto it. What do you guys think? Because you already said something about Elon Musk and
I'm
solar
gonna
power.
be honest. I don't know too much about this topic.
well, my dad personally has a Tesla. I
Wow.
don't know too much about it. I've drove in it. I kind of love the Tesla, but it could also tie into how like technology can make people lazy because it has an auto drive function.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
so
Yeah, you're
right.
right.
Like, yeah.
You just press a button on the highway and you're chilling for like the next 80 miles. You know what I'm saying?
David Job,
He's
hit
watching
us
New
up.
Girls.
As far as charging goes, there's a lot of renewable energy sources nowadays, so that shouldn't be really a problem with how much energy you really spend on that. I would say it is inconvenient how to charge it though, because some places like they charge for charging, and then
But you
even
take
in
a
your own
charger
house
anywhere
you
you
have to
go.
pay.
True,
lot.
and like I
But
just saw
it covers up because you don't have to pay for gas.
a lot. Yeah,
Okay,
a lot of
like-
people have talked about that too. The gas itself, or the electric parking and all that. There's not a lot. I just went to town this morning, right? I was sitting in my car with my mom and dad. They drive to a bank. There's only 2 electric charging stations, and they're already filled up. So, what is that? What does that really like? You know, does it more? Does it really affect the environment if there's only like a few electric areas, or do you think it's like more
Well, I
convenient
know
to have a gas
places
station?
like that are like, I mean, if you're just going into town, you know, like there are definitely more places where you could park to get that stuff, right? But like places like Waikiki or, you know, I don't know, anywhere else in town that's busier. Like I know Ala Moana, they definitely have more, you know, or Waikiki, they have basically a whole section off for Teslas.
Yeah,
Just
they
so
have
that
like
they can
specific charging stations.
Yeah, so like it's more than just the two, you know.
It's good that they're implementing actual like shopping malls and big populated places that they're implementing these like charging stations for cars too.
Okay, but let's say a lot of people say that electric cars, right? If everyone had an electric car, the world would be better. But studies show that about 60% of electric generated by fossil fuels end up being
Jared, where are you
same
getting
as-
this information from? I'm
An
confused.
article that he found.
Yes, I was reading an article again.
What is
and
this article called?
well, I
Jared?
just looked it up because I just I
Don't worry about it.
I need to refer back. I need to refer back. And 60%, it says 6% of the electricity is generated by fossil fuel. Basically, is
Which is
it's the same
more
is
than-
it's the same as a diesel vehicle.
Yeah.
It's about the same. Now, truth be told, that means maybe about if we go on the stats, and I'm gonna guess here because I'm not the greatest at math. It would be about if the whole state here in Hawaii had the same amount of or had the electric cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking maybe about maybe
But that's
100
if we're
cars.
using fossil fuels.
Yes, but
But like,
that's because that's the most convenient thing that has happened. You can name me a car right now that could not be running on fossil fuels, and it's just straight electricity. Because a lot of cars today
I mean,
that are
of
electric
course.
are generated by fossil fuels. So it's still the same pollution, just maybe a little bit less, but
Unless
it's still
we cut out fossil fuels in
general.
Yeah. Because like, if you cut it off, then there's no possible way to use it as another alternative in a way. You know.
Yeah, so I got this article too that the batteries that these car uses. What?
Who is it? Who is it?
What? No.
Who is it?
So the batteries that these cars uses, they're lithium ion batteries
Oh.
that needs to be like extracted from the ground, which is a rare metal, right?
Yeah.
So we still gotta extract things from the ground, which is
And you
damaging
still
our
have to
environment.
find a
too.
way. We end up
But-
still finding a way to use the nature or like in the environment to do these things. Electric is still being produced by wind power, right?
Yeah.
So, like a lot of things.
Well, wind powered car. That'd be cool though.
But yeah.
Next STEM project.
So I from what we're hearing from our whole topic is that a electric car is eco-friendly or environment friendly, but it's still not as good as we need it to be,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's a good way to end that topic.
Okay.
And you know, we've been talking a lot about technology. We've been talking a lot about like controversial stuff. Let's move a little bit on to something a little bit more fun. I think we can all agree on this. A lot of Western culture, Japan, Korean, all that stuff. Eastern.
We're in the West.
Yeah, sorry. Eastern cultures, sorry. Japan, Korea, China, literally all those like Asian cultures, everything like that, have been affecting a lot in the Western. And now look at a lot of like Netflix. Netflix has put in anime a lot now. Anime stuff, a lot of
Watch
Western.
Fairy Tale.
Jeez.
Demon Slayer.
And like K-pop. K-pop has hit in a huge shares in music
Yeah.
Yeah, you
genre.
can talk a lot about that, right, Cam?
We can.
You know
Anyways.
all about that, Cam.
Anyways,
Sing
but
a song,
Dude,
Cam.
I know you know it.
BTS is like one of the most popular like K-pop bands.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Y'all,
like
y'all hear
here.
that likey likey?
They
oh,
want,
oh.
I love that.
they won awards.
And that's
for,
well,
like,
okay.
American.
But
the American audience.
Back on that topic
They
though.
don't even live
You better
here.
go to the military.
Back on that topic though. Like
Military.
even, and we can all agree, even people that are listening to this right now, that Hawaii is another place. Like their food and everything here is a lot of Asian stuff.
Inspired.
Korean food. Dim sum is like a Chinese food.
That's
Like,
also
sushi.
because
things
like
things like
Asia is super close to us.
Yeah,
Well, yes,
like,
yes,
right
but I'm
across
still
the
saying,
seas, like that
even
way.
in the U.S., there's ramen places. A lot of them are
Well, I mean,
successful.
like
That's
not
because
even
it's
not even
Asia's
those.
everywhere now.
Well, Hawaii's like
things-
been like it's mashed up with the Japanese culture, isn't it?
Yeah, but
So-
okay, so like those things are like popular. So like ramen, what else is there? Like pizza is Italian, whatever. Like those are basic things, but like things like boba, like that used to be like not even popular back when I was in elementary.
Yeah, now it's
you know?
everywhere.
Yeah,
Now it's everywhere.
Like,
now
that's
like,
a
we
huge
could-
people
thing now.
love it.
we could
you
even
know?
we can even go back to like kendama. Kendama was the hugest
Oh
phrase
yeah, yeah.
back
Yeah.
in like
In
elementary,
sixth grade,
Oh, I
yeah,
remember
in
that.
sixth
right?
grade.
And that was an original old Japanese
Yeah.
toy.
Yeah,
And a lot of it's been taken.
Popularized,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it still goes on today. Not as much.
not as much anymore because it was a good fad, but like people will take fads from Japanese culture, things from Europe, and like copy it. You know, like I remember it's still a little popular. Like fanny packs used to be like a dad thing.
Yeah.
You know,
And now it's just
That was-
streetwear. It's
yeah,
cool.
Cam.
I don't know about y'all, but
Hey, don't put me out here.
Pack, you know what I mean?
Get your fanny pack.
Hey, stop that.
I'm out here rocking it side.
So back on topic too. Even like Pokemon and like the games
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Even more technology.
I mean,
That's
definitely-
Sonic.
definitely that was like the start.
Yeah,
you know?
that was like
Because what Mario is
Oh.
created by a Japanese guy.
yeah, a Japanese guy. He's a Mexican dude. You know,
Yeah.
Mario. Like he's a lot of cultures are mixed in together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
Even fashion.
all created by the
okay?
Japanese.
Fashion is a big thing for like people.
So okay, let's get on to that.
What you're wearing.
Now we can all agree. We can all agree. We each of us in this room right now has watched anime, right?
Oh yeah.
Big.
Yeah, we.
No, Jaren, what are you talking about?
Okay. If I got Naruto on my
Like
background, on my phone.
before in the past, a lot of people got like
So,
made
how
fun
do you-
of
how do you
for
know?
watching anime.
Yes,
and
but
stuff like that.
what
Now
I was-
it's super cool.
What I want to relate to is a lot of anime has gone to cartoons. Cartoons used to be back then like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry,
yeah.
right? Powerpuff Girls all had different like unique animations. Now we have anime with these same animations have come into the Western. A lot of cartoons have been taking that role, like Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yeah.
Korra. They
Oh,
have
don't even. Korra was garbage.
Korra.
It really
Okay,
was.
we
That was
yes,
garbage.
yes, Korra is
Oh,
garbage.
What? No, it wasn't.
It was. Girabaji.
Okay, back on it. Let's not get off topic. But like Avatar: Last Airbender, we'll just mention that
Goat anime. Just by the way.
All right.
it's not considered an anime; it's a cartoon,
Yeah.
and it's been taking over. A lot of people saying it's based off of Japan's art style.
Isn't it considered a
Chinese.
cartoon because it's
Buddhist. That man was a monk.
It was definitely based around like, what is it? I think it was Chinese.
Yeah, Japanese art style.
Yeah,
Chinese,
no, like Chinese history. Like
history,
there's different
With
factions.
English.
Yeah,
the English language.
and then so the Avatar: The Last Airbender was somebody in the U.S. creating a cartoon, but like they based it off of China, which is Eastern Europe. It's foreign.
yeah.
So like a lot of, but it's not just even that. But not even just Avatar: Last Airbender. Think about like other cartoons. Can you think of like other ones like Teen Titans? That's a comic. That's Teen Titans, the
Yeah.
old one from like 2000 what? Like
I don't know. I
3,
don't
4?
watch that.
The OG one.
Yeah, 2003, 2006. That one, like the Teen Titans, that's a comic that is
Or
based off of
Teenage
YouTube,
Mutant Ninja Turtles,
right? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. The old Teenage Mutant.
which you got to meet the
TMNT.
voice actor for.
I messed up. Anyways, the
one.
TMNT series from 2000. That had a lot of
Sorry.
it had a lot of
Serious.
it had a lot of anime style of drawing, and those were just US cartoons.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is isn't that just another Eastern culture coming into the Western? Is it do you think we're losing our, Western culture? A lot now we've been, adapting anime movies.
Well, I mean, okay. So I was literally I was reading something, but it was SAT related.
Oh.
So I can't really talk about it, but it was like back when the US was like just starting out, right? The people in Europe thought, well, you guys aren't really original, like you guys don't have anything made for yourself, but like you will copy our music in a way, so in a way they proved that they had original ideas. So like things like jazz was original.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so they sent people on tours, and like they showed that they were the ones creating this music, and people liked it. So I don't know. Like it's definitely we're losing our like own style, and like we're just adapting.
Yeah, we're taking it and then making it different.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kinda.
I want to bring you back to that music topic, because you mentioned this, right? And I'm gonna go a little bit freak on it, but
You're gonna talk about K-pop, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And I was reading the Billboard. It was talking about why K-pop's going to the mainstream, and this is true. And I will say this: BTS has been going to the mainstream, and it is because
BTS? Sing a song for him.
no. What I'm saying is, and I will say BTS is only famous because a lot of teenage girls do like just their aesthetic. I don't know about the music.
Yeah, they're just good
Well, I mean,
looking dudes
definitely
in
their
general.
music is kind of good. Like in a sense that like.
I have like.
But they're
couple of
even-
songs, not gonna lie.
they're even
pop
bigger-
culture is like.
They're even bigger than a lot of other bands.
that are
Like,
from America.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Think about.
But isn't that the same as like the Beatles taking over? Who was there? Forget. The
Well,
Beatles taking over.
yes, but
whoever
it-
was here at
They're
our
from
time.
Britain,
You
like
know?
Britain.
Like
You are right about the Beatles. That's true. They did come over to the U.S. and was populated, but it's different because now K-pop, including like BTS, has taken like not even just U.S. the world.
Yeah.
Like look at Thailand, China, Japan. A lot of stuff in K-pop have been just taking over, and that's just Western culture. So, what's different? Why is it different now that it's in the mainstream rather than just the Beatles taking over, the U.S. and just.
Also, with the Beatles, though, you could understand them.
Well, I mean, some people.
Majority of the
The
people
other
that
people-
listen
That's
to
true,
K-pop
and that's what I was.
just like it either for the videos or the way they look on stage.
That's true, but a lot of
I mean, there's
people
people
also like the
don't
music.
know English too.
I'll personally say I
People in
like
Japan,
I like some.
The videos don't know what we're saying too. But
I can personally say I like the
it.
music from like Twice or something, or like J-pop, like a lot of anime openings.
Just the videos.
That's also a thing too. Some of us even like anime openings, and we don't even know what they're
I
saying.
love anime
I do.
openings.
See, like
Japanese fans are amazing.
no, but like we listen to it for like
We listen to
music,
it because it's on
Because it's
Yeah.
the
pop,
show.
dude.
But
It
then-
is good.
but then- it
But,
comes
like,
out-
Music isn't just the lyrics; it's the beats and the.
okay,
rhythm, you
well,
know?
what about the Fire Force opening, right?
I mean, yes,
that
it's
became a
good.
huge meme, and a lot of people like the music, and
Yeah.
not even half the people knew what it was
It's
understanding.
because of the beat.
Yeah, the beat.
it
the
sounds
beat
good.
made
Because
videos
it-
funny.
The melody
Yeah.
is like memorable.
Yeah.
So why is it different now?
What
Why-
Do you, want? It's-
What do you
it's-
mean by
It's
that?
just
So-
different because it's K-pop. K-pop wasn't popular before, but it's popular now. It's like the same thing as K-dramas, where like
Yeah, like
it's not.
So
something
it's
that you
dominating
would-
the West, and a lot of things are becoming less popular. Think about now you can't go up to a 7-year-old and say you watch Tom and Jerry. No, half of them don't because
And then all they can think about is like
K-pop
and,
or
like, J-pop.
Tom and
anime
Jerry.
or something like that. It's becoming too huge of a genre that is taking over the West. Think about
Now, many
think about
people
your
are
favorite
not
food.
remembering
What's
it.
your favorite food?
Sushi.
Spaghetti.
Unless other than that.
Other than
But
what
that's
we
just
just
because
Shrimp
we
fried
live,
rice.
We live in America, where literally.
But you're
everything
not
is
the
about
only. You're not the
American
only
dream.
person. I know, like 8 people that are not from Hawaii that like ramen and sushi and dim sum.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
don't
I
you
like Hawaiian food too.
don't you think?
like what?
But don't
like
you think
American
it's
food?
taking over from
America.
the Western cultures? Like not a lot burgers. Think about burgers.
I love
Not
burgers.
I wouldn't say it's
I love
taking over, but like it does have an
It's
influence.
yeah,
you
it's
know?
influence.
definitely
I would
but
say
like
how
inflation.
huge is too much? Do you think?
Oh,
when
well,
we start to see it, like
I feel like it would
Huh.
never reach that point.
yeah,
No, it would never reach that point. Where,
Okay, you are right. It might not, but look at a lot of sales, right?
Yeah. like for
I-
example, like the shoe industry, Adidas is coming out with like what these their Japanese, like these letterings on their shoes.
Yeah,
and-
characters are on
Yeah,
laces.
like their
the side
logo
of the
is in
shoes.
Japanese.
But isn't
Anime characters are on the side of just Jordan.
true? They even have the Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
line that came out for Adidas.
well, yeah, Zoomies is like based off of Naruto right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's coming more in streetwear.
But couldn't we
Like-
relate that to pop culture? Because pop culture also talks about like you said, Zoomies.
Yeah,
They have a Rick and Morty line.
that's
So-
Yeah,
A lot of pop culture stuff is coming into the U.S., but a lot of it is.
I feel like,
Anime
but like
and
the
stuff.
pop culture is what is influenced to get people more interested. You know,
I think
So,
it's
like,
also because anime is just enjoyable to watch. It's like watching action
Memorable.
movies.
can't really remember the
Things
characters
you-
after you watched it.
yeah.
Things you just like
They're awesome.
you can think of, like people now have magic powers that just
But that's
I-
that's like a lot of
they just f shit up basically.
But you could do the same thing for cartoons, but it wouldn't hit as much.
If anything, it'd
I don't know
be-
about
it'd
you,
be-
but Teen Titans hit for me.
but in
but
a way,
Beast
for
Boy
people-
turned into an elephant
Yes,
and just
That was
started.
my favorite thing ever.
but
They start wrecking people.
then again, would you watch it with really bad or crappy animation? Because the animation
I
was
can't
so
watch.
based off.
But
of
then
the-
that's just a
the
trash show. Like
Oh.
it doesn't matter.
sorry.
It doesn't matter if it's Japanese or just Asian or just American based.
So how
That's
about
trash animation. That's a trash
so?
show.
Okay, what about the original TMNT? Right, the one from
What, the ones where
2000.
they have like that scary face? Where it's just like the nose is huge.
No, 2000s.
Oh, I know
the
what you're
2000s. The old one that was played on what was it?
Well, at that time, that was the peak of where everything was. That was good. That was considered good.
Yeah, in the past. and stuff.
Now
actually,
is
like
now where some shows literally like you can't tell the difference. Even with like some video games, you can't tell the difference. It's the same thing.
they actually had like the show in Japan too. Kamen Rider and Kikaido is like, they had these really cheesy, like editing because that was like the high of what they had at that time. But it still turned out really cool and really
Okay.
nice.
And then also we can talk about this. I recently went to twice a K-pop girl group that came recently to the U.S. There's the first ever U.S. concert. They're coming to the U.S. or tour, sorry, but that was a huge thing.
Expanding.
And back then, not a lot of Korean, and we can relate back to popularity again. But not a lot of Korean bands came here. It usually was just
Just BTS.
BTS and stuff like that. And now new bands are coming to here. A lot of Asian.
Because they're recognizing how much
Yeah.
influence they're gaining.
And we could like think about sales alone. Sales alone could be a huge thing, and as much as like a rapper here. Because think of an artist like a popular artist, Kanye West or Jay-Z. They make like $1 million on album sales, right? Same thing with BTS. BTS has made over in just Korea, 15 million, and even with the U.S. itself, the U.S. and this is from charts. In the U.S., it's maybe about 1 to 3 million, something like that. A little bit more. That's alone. I don't know what date it says. It doesn't stay on here, but the sales are huge, and in the U.S. So where do we stop that? Eastern cultures coming into West. Where do we stop and say, okay, we're losing our own roots? Because imagine a lot of action movies back then was about West. We were considered the Western cowboys and all that. But now adaptations like anime, like Ghost in the Shell, Death Note. A lot of those are being animated.
Oh, yeah.
Though they're terrible, they
Yeah.
are still being animated or adapted.
More and more.
more and more.
It's not just that one or two. There's plans to make more and more.
That's what I'm saying. So where do you where do we stop?
I say don't stop.
Yeah, like
and keep going.
things are
Because we can always just like.
But aren't you guys afraid that you're gonna end up like losing that Western culture? Like
Not really, because we can like just take that and adapt it to like you know expand on that idea
Yeah.
of
So,
like say a story from a Japanese like cartoon or something, and then just expand it to something else.
Yeah, and like you remember when you said Kanye West, right? Like before Kanye West didn't have this whole like ordeal with Christianity and stuff, but like now his new album's out and like he's promoting like God and you know, so like that wasn't his thing before, but it is now. So like things change, but because like your viewpoints change, and it's like what do you? It's not bad or good in any way, but it's like
so
it's
okay.
not like you're gonna get taken over, but in a way it's not bad either.
So what about our clothing, right? We did mention Zoomies. We mentioned Adidas.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot more people wear like anime,
anime
type
shirts.
of stuff.
You have
Or, like,
Naruto versus Sasuke on a hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see a lot
Or-
of Dragon Ball, like a lot of popular.
no, I see a lot of
ones.
And
My
those are all
Hero
good.
Academia.
What about Uniq? Uniq recently came to
Uniqlo?
Hawaii. Is it
Uniqlo.
Uniqlo? Yeah, sorry.
Uniqlo. I
Uniqlo.
always buy from there. Everything in my wardrobe is Uniqlo.
That's what I'm
and I
saying.
love it.
I'm just what I'm saying. A lot of our dressing is based
a
off.
lot of people are like buying things from there too because that's what they they originate from. So like, because Japanese is such a big thing here, especially.
But it's not just here, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
it's
is
not
that
just
store
here.
open in like Texas?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Some stores.
But we can talk about Zumi's a big brand that has also done that with Dragon Ball, Naruto, all that stuff. Though it is pop culture, it's still in there. Even Hot Topic. We can talk about Hot Topic having
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic is a huge pop pop culture store, and they have a lot of anime stuff. It's not just here; it's also outside. I went to LA, same thing. They have now mini Japan, Koreatown. Though that could have been before. Koreatown was like I think based off of just because there's a lot of Koreans in that area, and now it's like a huge tourist attraction.
But what about the Dakotas?
The Dakotas.
The Dakotas.
You mean South Dakota and North Dakota?
Yes.
That is true.
Is Eastern culture big there?
Well, I don't know. I've never been
I
there.
don't know.
So
Have you been to
you've been around US. You have more.
You've been around the Americas.
You've been around different states before you came to Hawaii. What's your take on that?
I wouldn't say it's huge like it is in Hawaii and like popular places like LA. LA is where everyone that has money is. And Hawaii is like right next to all of Asia.
Okay.
So then it's like in North Carolina, I didn't see any Asian influence there. It was all just
I
all
think
American
it's just,
stuff.
where you go.
Okay, but
Basically.
we can make the same argument. I went to Orlando. Though it's a tourist attraction there. There was a lot.
It also
of
has Disney there.
Yes.
So it's somewhere. It's some place that a lot of people frequent.
It's not even there. It's not.
You
it's-
you are Asian, and guess where you went?
But
Orlando.
but then think about Las Vegas.
It's Las Vegas.
But
A lot of people go
Okay.
there
I
to
just
gamble.
realized something as well.
Asian people
The
go there
Western
to
culture
gamble.
is also being influenced in the Eastern culture. We have Disney China, like Disney. I think in Taiwan.
that's
right?
true. That's true. But
Yeah.
it's not as big there than here.
Yeah, but it's still a cool place to go.
But we still haven't answered the question: is what
I just want to bring it up.
when should we stop it? I think personally we should stop at some point, right? Because though it's a huge business here in the U.S. for a lot of Asian and other cultures, it's not as big as being in Japan, where Japan has just Disney, China. Just
Yeah, I
Netflix
think
now.
it was like somewhere in like Taiwan.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but like China's huge too because
not only is it just a big.
Are we gonna get taken down because we're talking about China?
I hope not.
But like this though, one of the
China created TikTok, which is a huge pop culture thing now.
Yeah.
And like it also has like, you know, cell phones that have 5G now. You know what I mean?
and
And,
even
like,
even our like some of our TVs here,
Yeah.
Samsung, PlayStation,
They
PlayStation
all-
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nintendo.
A
Sony.
lot of stuff is manufactured in China. You always see made in China.
And a lot of things are developed in Japan that we take here now,
yeah.
and it's big in the U.S. Now like Microsoft, maybe a huge Xbox or huge gaming console company, they can't compete with Nintendo. Where Nintendo was huge back then when they sold the NES and all that. How do we compete with that, and where do we stop, you know, Asian cultures for trying to take
over our land.
take over just
That's
not land, take over our
They're not trying to invade America. Like
This is
No,
how
I
we
mean, the first
invade
time.
America.
okay, we compose ourselves. But
Okay, we're good.
yeah, so we're gonna finish it off from there because I feel like we're not gonna be able to stand on it. I feel like it's gonna just keep our culture. We'll figure it out from the future. So I think that's all we got for today, right? That's all we got.
Yeah.
So this has been PodCracks with
Hey, you said it right this time.
with me, Jared and Cam,
Christian Lau.
And Rich Augustine.
and then our special guest.
It's your boy ZZ Zaire, also known as.
Follow us
Zaire
at-
Johnson and
Jeremiah.
I'm Tay Tay, Little Tay.
Jeremiah Taylor, and that
Jeremiah Jailer.
will be the end. So thanks for listening, boys.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I wish we did.
Shoots. Bye.
Give us an A.